Have you ever had one of those conversations that just clicks, where everything flows perfectly, and then maybe an hour later, you have one that feels like you're just talking to a brick wall? Well, today, we are diving deep into that exact mystery, using Charles Duhigg's amazing book, Supercommunicators, as our guide.
It's the ultimate question, isn't it? Why do we connect so easily with some people, and with others, it feels like we're on completely different planets? Is there some kind of secret language, a code for connection, that we just never got the memo on?
To get to the bottom of this, we're going to start with a story. It's about a guy who seemed to have a literal communication superpower, an FBI negotiator who could connect with anyone, in any situation. It was, honestly, like watching magic happen.
Okay, get this. The man's name is Felix Segala. And to give you an idea of how good he once had to deal with a guy barricaded in a room with, wait for it, 6 cobras and 19 rattlesnakes. I mean, how do you even start that conversation? Felix's secret wasn't yelling or making demands. No, he got the man to see things from the snake's perspective. Yeah, you heard that right. Wild, isn't it?
So, naturally, when scientists wanted to figure out the secrets of persuasion, they went straight to this guy. They were probably picturing someone like James Bond, super charismatic, larger than life. Instead, in walks this totally normal, kind of soft-spoken, middle-aged dad. So the mystery just got deeper. If it wasn't charisma, what on earth was his secret?
So what did he do? He didn't give them a PowerPoint presentation. He just talked to them. He started asking them about their lives, about a daughter's wedding plans. And as they opened up, he opened up right back. He shared his own stories, his own vulnerabilities. He wasn't lecturing them, he was connecting with them, human to human.
And here is the absolute kicker. After getting these brilliant scientists to share all this personal stuff, Felix just drops this bomb. This isn't magic. It's not a superpower. It's just a set of skills. And the best part? These are skills that anyone, and yeah, that means you and me, can actually learn.
But okay, if connection is a learnable skill, then why do so many of our conversations totally fall apart? Let's get into that feeling, that universal frustration when a simple talk just goes completely off the rails.
Oh, you know this feeling. I know you do. You're trying so hard to get your point across, to feel heard, but it's like you're just talking past each other. You're talking, they're talking, but nobody is actually communicating. It is so frustrating, and it happens all the time, at work, with our families, everywhere.
Charles Duhigg gives this perfect example from his own life. A colleague comes to him and says, "I feel ignored and disrespected." See, she was trying to talk about her feelings, but his brain immediately jumped to problem-solving mode. He's like, okay, let's fix it. We can make an org chart, you can run the meetings. They were having 2 totally, completely different conversations.
And that right there, that's the real problem, isn't it? The biggest reason our conversations fail is that we think we're on the same page, but we're not even in the same book. We're miles and miles apart. All right, so if we're not in the same conversation, then what conversations are there to be had? Well, according to Duhigg, it all boils down to this really simple framework that, I'm telling you, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
It turns out there are really only 3 types of conversations. That's it. Every single discussion we have, whether we know it or not, is either a practical conversation, an emotional one, or a social one.
So first up, you've got the practical conversation. This is all about the what's this really about stuff. It's about logistics, making plans, solving a concrete problem. Think work meetings, planning a trip, anything with a clear goal.
Then you have the emotional conversation. This one's all about the question, how do we feel? The point here isn't to find a solution. It's to share feelings, to get some empathy, to just feel understood on an emotional level.
And finally, there's the social conversation. This one is deep. It answers the question, who are we? It's all about our relationships with each other, our identities, our social standing, how we fit into the group. It's about navigating our complex social world together.
Now, here's the thing. Just knowing these 3 types exist is great, but it's not the whole story. The real secret, the key to that clicking feeling, is all about something called matching. You know that incredible flow state in a conversation where you're finishing each other's sentences? Well, scientists have a name for that. It's called neural entrainment, and it's a real physical thing. Your brain waves, your heart rates, even your pupils dilating, they all literally sync up. It feels amazing because it is a deep biological connection.
And here's the absolute rule of the game. That magical clicking, that neural entrainment, can only happen when both people are having the same type of conversation at the same time.
If you're being practical and they're being emotional, you physically cannot sync up. It's neurologically impossible.
And that takes us right back to Duhigg's story, right? His colleague was basically screaming, "I need to have an emotional conversation." And he was replying, "Let's have a practical conversation." It was a total mismatch, and that's why it was such a disaster. Okay, so we get it. Mismatching's the problem, matching is the solution. But how do we actually do that? How do we become one of these super communicators in our everyday lives?
Well, it really comes down to a super simple 3-step process. First, just listen. But listen for clues. Ask yourself, are they talking about a plan, a feeling, or a relationship? Second, identify the conversation type. Is this practical, emotional, or social? And third, and this is everything, match them. Show them you get it by responding on that same level.
And this is such a huge mind shift. Being a great communicator isn't about having the smartest comeback or the best argument. It's about being a great listener. It's about becoming an expert at identifying what kind of conversation someone needs to have with you right then and there and meeting them where they are.
So, I'll leave you with this challenge. In your very next conversation with anyone, I want you to try it. Don't just listen to the words. Listen for what's behind the words. Are they asking for a solution, for empathy, or for connection? Because once you know what to listen for, it can change absolutely everything.